We are learning more tonight about the Dallas police officer killed in what the police chief describes as an execution. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
I'm Steve Eager. Officer Darren Burks was shot in his patrol car sitting outside a community center last night in East Oak Cliff. Police Chief Eddie Garcia says Corey Cobb-bey approached the officer, recorded his interactions with that officer before shooting the officer through the window. He then waited for backup officers and shot the first two who arrived. One officer has serious injuries to her face. The other was shot in the leg.
And he was senselessly and tragically murdered in the line of duty. We came close to losing other officers who put their lives on the line to protect their brother. And it is by the grace of God they're still with us today.
So the shooter led police on a chase after the shootings that ended in Louisville, got out of his vehicle, pointed a shotgun at the pursuing officers who then opened fire and killed him. The police chief called this planned and a premeditated attack. Fox 4 Sean Rabb is in our newsroom following more on the story. Sean.
Yeah, a couple of things I need to tell you about. First of all, he waited on the responding officers to arrive and then opened fire on them as they arrived. Those officers, Senior Corporal Carissa David, shot in the face. The other, Senior Corporal Jamie Farmer, his wound not as severe, shot in the leg. He's been released from the hospital. The fallen officer is Darren Burks, who grew up here in North Texas, touched many lives before his was taken. The shooter talked to the officer, as you mentioned, before he fired on him, and as you said, killed him while he was sitting in his squad car.
Officer Burks was executed. Our preliminary investigation has determined that on Thursday, August 29th at 10:02 p.m., the suspect, identified as 30-year-old Corey Cobb-bey, a black male, arrived in the 900 block of East Ledbetter Drive and parked his white Buick. At 10:04, Officer Burks arrived at the location and parked near the front entrance to the building between call assignments. Cobb-bey approached Officer Burks and talked with him briefly through the driver's side window as he recorded the encounter with a cell phone. The suspect then pulled out a handgun and executed Officer Burks as he sat in his vehicle.
Scores of officers, shook by 3 fellow officers being shot, gather at Methodist Hospital in the pre-dawn hours, where new police officer Darren Burks was brought after being ambushed as he sat in his police vehicle in the 900 block of East Ledbetter a little after 10 Thursday night. The shooting, senseless to the entire police community.
Why are we dying at the hands of a person and we're not even in conflict with you? You don't even know me. You don't know any of these officers, but you go into combat with an officer? You blindside him? That's terrible.
Burks was able to somehow transmit over his radio after being shot. Backup showed up. Both were shot. The female officer, more serious, taken to Baylor Hospital. Either she or her training officer may have been able to return gunfire, possibly hitting the suspect, who took off in a white sedan with more officers in chase. Part of that captured by TxDOT cameras along I-35 North in Louisville. The suspect stopped on the freeway and got out.
When that suspect exited that vehicle, he had a long gun. Dallas police officers then shot at the suspect, fired at the suspect, and he died at that scene.
Officer Darren Burks graduated Lake Highlands High School in Richardson in 1998. Later, continuing his education at Paul Quinn College.
Yeah, he was part of the first graduating class when I became president in 2007.
Quinn president, Dr. Michael Sorrell.
Darren was a loved member of this community. He was a wonderful fraternity member to his brothers at Omega Psi Phi. He was a wonderful alum to Paul Quinn. He invested in his institution, and we will miss him. We will honor his memory, and we are grateful that we knew him for the time we had him. We just wish we had him for longer.
Burks shaped young minds at Texarkana Academy, where he taught math 17 years, all before a different calling with Dallas Police. The school sharing, he was not only an excellent educator, but a mentor to countless students and a cherished friend to the entire Pleasant Grove educational community.
He was a salt of the earth, fundamentally good brother. This is one of those pains that will not go away anytime soon.
With 2 officers suffering gunshot wounds and a city in mourning for Officer Darren Burks, who entered the Dallas Police Academy last year, Sheldon Smith, Black Police Association, says it's time to remind that police lives matter too.
And the person that would risk his life for you, drive 100 miles an hour to get to you to help you, never met you in your entire life, but they'll risk their lives for you, you shoot and kill him?
All right, I want to share with you now what we know about the suspect, cobb-bey, 30 years old. This is a bookend photo from a previous arrest. We could find nothing more than traffic violations like no insurance, no driver's license, failure to ID, giving a false name, but nothing violent like this. From social media, though, he posted a video just 3 days ago showing him walking up to officers in an unmarked squad car, don't know exactly where this is, recording his questioning of them. And cryptically, just 1 day ago, he posted about an event that was happening, he said, on Friday. Now, the police chief said he would release video of the encounter, body cam, dash cam video Monday, but that the surveillance video from the cameras at 4 Oak Cliff Community Center said that video cannot make that public, too graphic to watch. Sad, sad story.
All right, Sean Rabb in the newsroom. Sean, thanks.
All right.
So several local and state officials have released statements following the attack last night. Texas Governor Greg Abbott releasing a statement saying, quote, Texas grieves with the family and loved ones of the Dallas police officer killed in the line of duty last night. Our hearts are with Dallas PD and the entire Dallas community. U.S. Representative and Senate candidate Colin Allred also released a statement saying his heart goes out to Dallas PD and the brave officers' loved ones. He also says he's praying for a speedy recovery of the 2 wounded officers and that the sacrifice of these brave officers is a debt we can never repay.
Our coverage continues online anytime. Just go to fox4news.com. You can also keep up with us on Fox Local. Download our app for free or wherever you get your streaming services.